Podcast. This is your catch-up of chaos, life updates, and whatever's currently living rent-free in my brain. We are officially 29 days out from Thailand, my solo adventure, 29. That's not 30, that's 29, and I'm starting to freak the fuck out. Anyway, let me tell you, the vaccine drama is real. Me and my cat both went through it last Friday, and honestly, only one of us handled it well. No two guesses who that was. It's been a wholesome, slightly unhinged weekend. I had some family catch-ups, 7 movies in 2 days. I cried over one in specific, so I'll talk about that more. I was dancing in my lounge Sunday evening to Justin Bieber like I was personally at Coachella, yet I wasn't. And somehow I was staying more informed about things than everyone else just by not leaving the house. I'll tell you more about that soon. I've got rugby wins, winter outfits, a rogue Airbnb inquiry that gave me the ick, and a long weekend escape pending. So let's get into it. I'm just going to start by saying I don't think we're aware of this, and it actually kind of shocked me because I only found out half an hour ago. I am currently 15 episodes to go until the big 100. And I officially sign off from the Podcast for the last time. I'm so proud of that. 15 episodes to go. What? Where have I even I just can't even deal. If I knew then what I know now about podcasting and exactly what it would entail, well, I don't actually think anything would have changed. I'm just a little bit more chatty and proud of this and all the support and followers. There's actually been the same followers this season. The number only fluctuates 5 less or 5 more each episode. But it's not like season 1 where there was such a big difference. There was a lot in one episode, and then people were like, okay, well, I've caught up with her, so I'm not going to listen this episode. I don't know. It was weird. People were grasping at different concepts of who I was as a podcaster and wondering what I was on about. Yet I was super mindful of being polite when in reality I was actually doing a podcast to be my unhinged normal self. The whole reason I was doing this was because I couldn't do radio because they'd censor me. Let's be honest, some of the things we had talked about have been a little bit, I don't know, I feel like the longer I get into things and talk more to you guys, it's actually kind of a shame there's only 15 episodes left because I have been a little bit more open and honest this season. It kind of scares me a little bit, but the reaction and the responses, I don't know, it's a safe place, and that's all I can say. I have felt that I could just talk about things, be honest. I mean, heck, I think it was season 2 that I cried. Never again. Honestly. I know I was being vulnerable, but that's ridiculous. I am still the same person. I just think I've grown a bit of a backbone. I don't know. It's just, no, I'm going to retract that and say it's not because I have a backbone. It's because I've gotten older and I don't give a shit. If you want to do you, let people be their own selves. You can't change people. And as you get older, you become really complacent and just, if it doesn't bother me, then why the hell am I worried? And that's exactly it. So I don't know, this whole season 4 has been just my favourite. I can't speak more highly about how proud I am. 15 episodes to go, you guys. In saying that, I had 29 days to go to Thailand. I will touch on this quickly. The vaccine drama last Friday was insane. I was aware that they were bringing my vaccines to the doctors. I don't know if it's the same in every other country, but in New Zealand, we pay for our vaccines, they get delivered to the doctor, and then the doctor administers it. I called the doctor's office Friday morning because I hadn't heard from anyone, and they said, yep, they're here. Do you want an appointment? 11:30, all good. I went through to do that. I knew that afternoon at 2:00, my cat had his vaccine as well. I don't know if it was his year vaccines or something. Maybe it was that one. But anyway, while I was at the doctor, I was just telling the GP, the doctor, my cat's also getting his vaccines at 2:00. And she said, you can't say it like that, Danny. It sounds like you're taking the cat to Thailand. So I had to stop saying, anyway, it's fine. I had a different nurse. She was this gorgeous little old lady. I just love them. They're so funny. They're more worried that they're going to hurt you, yet I didn't really know what the reaction was going to be to me having the vaccine. Obviously, when you go to Thailand, you've got to be super aware of the bacteria, and I chose to get hepatitis A and typhoid. Whilst I was there, the nurse said to me, you are due for a blood test because I am on blood thinners. A couple of episodes back, I told you about my blood clot situation. And so I had my bloods taken, which was fine. The weird thing was they could find a vein in my arm, which normally they can't. And then, I don't know, just randomly she said to me, what about a COVID booster? When was the last time you had a COVID vaccine or booster? And I was like, God, I haven't even thought of that word since like 2022. It's just not on my radar. I don't care. So anyway, had my 2 vaccines, had my bloods taken and the booster done. I sat in the waiting room. I talked to the receptionist for about 10 minutes. She said I was fine. It was okay. I could go home. And then, I don't know, it seemed like it was a bit of a snowball. So Friday morning, I'd been to the gym. I'd already done a workout, had my vaccines, taken the cat. He had his vaccine. I was home. I was having a couple of drinks with the family that came from Christchurch to visit. I kind of ate. I had some pizza for dinner, nothing out of the ordinary. Saturday, oh my gosh, I was napping on the couch. Like, I never nap, ask anyone. I probably slept through like 2 or 3 movies off and on. Probably had to go back and rewatch a few things because I don't know what happened. But yeah, it was just like, I just felt like this heavy lead. I just couldn't, I don't know. It was like a real out of body experience and I didn't know what was happening. I actually thought I was getting a cold. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm actually just genuinely unwell. And Mum was like, no, you had the vaccines. Like, this might be a reaction. I didn't break out in a rash. There was nothing crazy. It was just, I don't know. I just felt exhausted, like I was whacked with something. It was horrible. So I decided to stay home Saturday, Sunday. My mum took my family to my big house in Queenstown. And I literally just enjoyed the creature comforts of being home. It was such a wholesome, quiet weekend before the storm this week. It's actually ridiculous. I say that before the storm. I mean, there was a storm in the North Island, but I've got a lot of friends arriving this week. So, yeah, it was nice. I mean, I watched 7 movies in 2 days, like I said, all on Prime Movies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that platform. It is so good. Their movies are so much better than anything on Netflix or Disney. I'm so impressed. One that was really good was actually called My Old Ass. I actually cried my eyes out. It has such a good storyline. Not so much because there is like a young girl that decides that she's a lesbian and then she's not. That's not the story I'm talking about. It's the whole, like, I won't give too much away, but it's really sweet just to see that obviously if you knew something was going to happen in your future and you got a heads up, but you still didn't want to change the trajectory of your life, it really resonated with me to just, you know, if you want to love someone, love them for the right reasons and just watch it. 100% loved it. As they cried my eyes out. 10 out of 10. Mum called me on Sunday and she said, no, actually it was Monday. Yeah, yesterday. And she said a couple of pieces of news that I already knew. And I told her I knew these things. And she was like, how did you know? And I said, because I had a weekend indoors. I didn't drink or be social. So I was like across the board with everything. I was so informed already. And she was like, I don't know if I like this, Danny. I kind of like the one that's like a little bit chaotic, visits the family on a Sunday for a lunch, eats everything at Pizza Hut, you know, if you know, you know. So, yeah, she was like, I don't know. I like the fact that you go out and get all these interesting stories from pub situations. But yeah, I didn't. I was a bit of a hermit, which was just exactly what I needed. It was rugby on the weekend. I'm very much a New Zealand Warriors supporter. It was the rugby league against the Melbourne Storm. I will support those Warriors until they reach the premiership, and I jumped off the couch twice in absolute excitement when they scored. They won the game. It was just the best outcome for a Saturday night. It was a late game, so I stayed up quite late considering I was sleeping all day. The weather is definitely cooling down in Queenstown and Cromwell at the moment. I love the winter layers. You can wear the outfits that are all snug. You just have all the nice materials. Oh, I am here for it. I was sitting at my desk yesterday doing my actual 9-to-5 job and my feet were cold and I had slippers on, but I didn't have socks on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have to go get slippers. I'm so excited. I have to go get my socks on and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to get really cold and then I'm going to go to a really hot climate and then it is just going to be crazy, whatever. I had an inquiry Sunday night at 1 a.m. Monday morning for Airbnb. I'm telling you what, it gave me the ick. I actually am one of those people that's super quick to reply to someone. But because it came through at 1 a.m, I actually waited till 10 a.m. Monday morning to even look at it again. But I reached out to my mum and I was like, I actually don't think I want someone in the house this week, just because I'm quite pressed for time and organising myself for guests and stuff that are friends and family coming to visit. And Mum agreed. She was like, what the heck? I think it was just because I don't put anywhere on my profile that I pick people up from bus stops or take them to orchards to get fruit or anything. But this was kind of like a quite forceful message. It was basically saying, I've looked on Google Maps. I can see that you are, quite a far away from the bus stop. Do you mind picking me up and taking me around the orchards? And I was just thinking, look, I get it. It's a small town. Cromwell's not got those types of facilities like Uber and taxis and stuff. I mean, we do, but we don't. I don't really know when they do or they don't work, but it's not like a major city centre. The hub for transport's lacking. And I was just thinking, I'm not going to be the one that says, yes, I will take you around, but guess what? The fuel in New Zealand right now is disgusting. I don't want to be paying $3.50 a litre to take you here, there and everywhere when you haven't said that you'd give any sort of information. It was just take you around a couple of orchards, pick you up from the bus stop, drop you back in 2 days' time. But also it was a 2-day booking. So if someone hasn't got transport and they're staying for 2 days, I was thinking alarm bells. It's like, do I say yes to them staying at their house, but they'd be here more or less the whole time if they weren't going on hikes, but then I don't know how they'd get to the hikes. It seemed a little bit messy, and I was trying to be quite clear with the fact that we are a little bit further from the bus stop. That's not ideal. But that I do have a 9-to-5 job and I can't be just gallivanting around taking someone around to get fruit from here, there and everywhere. I get that they want the experience, but it was the aggression behind the wording. I don't know if it was a cultural thing or whatever. I declined it. I was like, no, I'm just not doing this week. Can't be bothered. So yeah, we have no Airbnbs. I have just wiped the slate clean. I do have a long weekend in Christchurch and I'm excited to leave this little small bubble. I've got a friend arriving on Friday and my mum's best mate arriving Friday as well. So it's like every time I think I'm quite pressed for time, I still have 5 days until they get here. So I'm like just trying to stagger out what I need to do. But I am very excited to get out of the bubble and see like a city. I know it's going to be a little bit busy. I get to see a bit of family, and my friend that's visiting from Australia, we've actually done quite a few trips together. So this is not like, I'm very relaxed and just not even worried about anything, just because she has travelled millions of times with me before, but we've also been to Christchurch a few times. So yeah, I think with her, she's just, because she comes to New Zealand as a tourist, she'll buy everything at the market. She'll eat everything because she's like, loves New Zealand food. But I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I live here. I see this all the time. It's not interesting for me. So for me, I'm just mindful of the fact that my trip's coming. This is her trip and I'll just support her and have a lot of fun and enjoy her catch-ups and all that. So yeah, as say, no podcast next Tuesday because of that. I'm going to be off wine tasting with her, potentially in Wanaka. She needs a good just day drinking in the what do they call it, vineyards of New Zealand. I do have a bit of a plan just to get her out and seeing all the bits and pieces. It's lovely when the climate starts cooling down, the leaves are all falling off the grapevines, and I don't know, it's just one of those different things that she doesn't really get to experience because it's always hot in Australia. So yeah, no podcast next Tuesday. I don't know about you guys, but Sunday evening had me in a chokehold. I was absolutely dancing around the living room listening to Justin Bieber at Coachella. If you know, you know, but that set he performed healed everyone, including him. You can actually pinpoint the moment that he got out of his head and started enjoying himself. I hate, it's a massive pet hate when performers come on stage in sunnies and hoodies, and it almost looks like they're hiding, but they would see it as art. Absolutely not. No, we're too old for this shit. I am a believer Bieber, right from 2014 when I saw him live in Sydney. I'll take you back. It's a bit of a fun story. I won a contest. Well, no. The story goes my area manager specifically pulled my name out or pulled my name forward for some tickets to an intimate performance. I only found this out kind of, I don't know, years later that this area manager actually submitted my name for these tickets, or specifically, I don't know, he pulled some strings somehow. I think it's because he knew that in Sydney I was absolutely being dragged through the ringer because of home situations with flatmates and the job itself. So it was this beautiful intimate performance on Cockatoo Island just off Sydney Harbour. It was somewhere completely random and it was everything you could imagine. He was only a kid then. It was like, I can't even tell you. I was just very mesmerized by his performance. And then I went to a concert in Brisbane in 2017 with my cousins. It was fine, but his following is insane. I definitely prefer the smaller concerts, that's for sure, the more intimate. I don't know. It was just such a sweet performance. But this performance on Sunday at Coachella had everyone enjoying themselves. My poor cousin was messaging me in a flood of tears on the floor, absolutely beside herself. He was singing things from back in like her days, her school days, which is like, I think he said 19 years ago. He actually said that. And so I believe it. Honestly, I had such a wholesome, like, enjoying weekend. I actually messaged her with goosebumps, and I was like, look at this photo. He's singing, and I have goosebumps. Like, what does that say? So, yeah, super quiet weekend because of the reaction to the vaccines, but it's okay to just stop and stay in and watch some TV and enjoy, flashback concerts. I feel better for it. Monday was a little bit wonky. My phone died while I was asleep and the alarm didn't work. So I woke up late, missed the gym, had firewood delivered. So between all of that, I was absolutely not fussed physically. You know when sometimes your morning gets absolutely corrupted and then you don't end up doing what you want to do? I think because I mowed the lawns before the firewood was delivered and then I stacked the firewood, I was like, nah, I'm physically done. I don't even care. When people think that I'm stationary in my work from home job, absolutely not. I pull like 12,000 steps a day and run around like an absolute banshee trying to get things organized. I had this discussion with my mum and my family on Friday because we have this stupid black boy peach tree, which I freaking hate black boy peaches. I don't understand what the whole like hype is around them. They're not nice. Golden peaches, yes. Black boy peaches, no. Anyway, I said to her in front of my family, I would love a lot if we could uproot this stupid black boy peach tree, move it somewhere else so we can put a tiny home on the section. The section's massive. Like we can do with a little bit less lawn, thank you. And it's not a jab at my mum to say that, she can live in the tiny home or whatever. I just think that a 4-bedroom house being looked after by one person like myself, I'm young. Like I can only imagine the absolute nightmare it is as someone that's like a mum or 40, 50, 60 years old looking after all this. Like, I'm exhausted, you guys. I'm exhausted. And people are like, well, what are you doing all day? And I said, well, don't even bloody know. I think, honestly, it's just trying to get the house in order for guests, Airbnb or friends and family. But also, like, it's a house. It's a home. It's been lived in. It's not just, self-sufficient and it works by itself. You have to do things. And I think I've just kind of realized that lately. And I'm like, my mum, when we got the firewood delivered, she texted me and said, I'm going to give you the money for the firewood. And I was like, no, because I've taken over the keys to the house. Like, I don't want you to pay for the things that I need in the house. That's up to me. But also, I've been saving for like a year since last winter for the firewood. And so she gives me this money and I was like, absolutely not. So I went to send it back to her. And she said to me, stop being a pest, Danielle, take the money. And I was like, I'm not having it. So anyway, I said to her, I love this, Mum, and I'm really appreciative and I'm so grateful to have an opportunity like you to pay for my firewood. But no, I've done this and I'm an adult and I can do this myself. But also, I don't want a birthday present in a month's time either because I know what she's like. She'll just be like, she's turning 39, she's going to Thailand. We're not going to get her a present because she's traveling, so we'll just chuck her some money. No, I'm sick of that. So I said to her, I literally need a minute to step outside of being in this pressure cooker of having financial, things to do, like the mortgage, power, the TV, the internet, the firewood, groceries. Like it's just never ending. And I said to her, I just need to escape this financial pressure for like a month, which I'm kind of doing with my 20-day bloody trip to Asia. And she was like, yeah, look, I get that. I understand. But when you have responsibilities, and I was like, but these aren't my responsibilities. I did obviously take on living in this big house by myself, and I 100% get this. Like, I could have lived anywhere. I could have moved to Queenstown and stayed in the new house with my family, but I chose to stay in Cromwell. So this is kind of on me. But I just said to her, like, I've done my best with the Airbnb. The mortgage is paid up until July. We're completely fine. I just need to escape things because these aren't my things. If I wanted to take on like a flat and do my own power, my own internet, that would be things that I choose to do through whatever provider I have chosen to be with. This is me taking over the keys to a house that already had it existing in it. And I was thinking, oh, when was the last time you had a compare the market thing done on the power? Like, can we do it differently, cheaper even? I don't even know. But yeah, it's just been a lot. So obviously I kind of kicked up a bit of a stink at the start of the week about just having no financial responsibilities. I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a tart, honestly, but it's just how I felt, and she understands. Anyway, 3 podcast episodes left before I head overseas and obtain a lot of life knowledge and content. I swear I will share all of it with you. It won't be a case of the episodes remaining will be a day in the life of and what I get up to and all that, but it will be what I've experienced, and we'll talk about stories and stuff. I absolutely cannot wait. I feel like these past 10 episodes have been a little bit like wishy-washy, and I get it, but I'm also not really doing a lot in life. I mean, I'm getting to the end of like my late 30s. I just want to have it really calm and enjoying myself and doing things I want to do. It's not a case of having a routine or a schedule or a preference. You know, I'm not in the rat race to get a better career or get married and have babies. Like, it's just literally, this is my life on my terms. So I don't know, the content for the pod's been a bit weak, lacking. There's been some really great nights out, like, don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of fun sharing about, you know, previous weekends. But yeah, anyway, it's fine. I feel like I do need one more online shop from 2 stores and I'll be absolutely set for my trip. I don't plan on buying any clothes in Asia. They're going to be for little tiny people. I'm 6'3". It's not going to work. I just need a few things for flights and to make life easier, more or less. I don't know. I've kind of got a few things in a few carts and I'm like, oh, just buy them, for God's sakes. I also have to write a list of stuff for my mum to do while she's house sitting my cat. That's going to be a lot. He's high maintenance at the best of bloody times, and I really love it, right? If my neighbour's house next door would sell, because the way my entitled cat goes into the open home and gets shooed out is a bloody nightmare. That's happened 3 times, you guys. And I don't even know when she's having open homes because I don't think she lives here anymore. She's bought a house somewhere else. She's just got a house that's for sale here. So I let my cat Poe, he's a boy, he's, I don't know, 15 months old, run around and do his business, you know. He owns the neighborhood. He's a little, he's so cute. But then I get these bloody real estate agents coming to the door. Is this your cat? I'm like, oh, fuck. What's he done now? Well, he doesn't come with the house. So can you put him somewhere so that we can have people walk through that aren't going to trample on him? It's so bad. So yeah, that's on my to-do list, is to get the neighbour's house sold. I might put a bow tie on Poe and he can be the doorman. He can just sit there like security. These are the things I do, you guys, because I don't have much going on right now. Except for cooking good food, keeping up with my 75 medium, which is ultra boring. And yeah, just, you know, countdown is on, getting through the days. All right, my loves, that is it for us today. Short, sweet, slightly wishy-washy, but it's kind of just how I am. I've only got 3 episodes left before I go to Thailand, which feels really crazy. Life's about to go from watching movies in bed to main character energy across the world, and I absolutely cannot wait to take you along for it. The plans I have for what I get up to is just going to be like, what the actual fuck? But I think that's the joy and the beauty of it, is because I get to do things on my own terms, and if anything happens, it's like, what will be will be. It's fine. If for any reason anything goes a bit wonky, it's okay. You know, like the way I see it is that Thailand is always going to be there. This is just a trip for me to go over and see what it's like and then report back. And I don't know, maybe take friends, have a 40th over there, take my mum on an adventure. She's quite interested in Thai food and all those kinds of things. No episode next week, remember, because your girl will be wine tasting and making some questionable food decisions in Cromwell. It's just what I do, as I should. If you love this episode, send it to your bestie, your situationship if you've got one, or someone who has also had a quiet weekend like I have. But for the most part, I'll see you in a fortnight's time with something more to talk about with my trip to Christchurch, the V8 supercars, my friend's week here. And obviously we will do a big debrief. Can't wait. See you then. Bye.